Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records and night 2 of Billy Strings in St. Louis. I mean, if you know exactly what happened last night, you weren't there. I don't normally sleep out here, but I did last night. And for the love of my audience, I'm going to put sunglasses on because nobody needs to see my eyes. Just an incredible night. Night 1 was incredible. I'll put the review of that show in the description below. Tonight was mind-boggling. They opened up with The Likes of Me. It's a Jerry Reed song. Pretty straightforward bluegrass. And then they went off the tracks and went insane. And got really psychedelic real early last night with songs Meet Me at the Creek and Crossing Muddy Waters, which is a John Hyatt cover. They did 5 songs off the new album, night 1, and we got another 4 songs off of Highway Prayers tonight, including Be Your Man, which was beautiful, leaning on a traveling song in the beginning of the end. This was a night of cover songs. Listen to the artists that were covered last night. John Hartford's All Fall Down, Mule Skinner's Blue Mule, John Hyatt again, we talked about. Jimmy Skinner was covered, David Grissom was covered, the Dillards, who are a bluegrass band founded in 1963 out of Salem, Missouri, which isn't that far, Doug and Rodney Dillard brothers. Stanley Brothers, Prairie Ramblers, Reno and Smiley, Bill Monroe, Jeff Austin, Stanley Brothers, Jimmy Martin, George Gershwin, Hyatt, Nevada. Just an incredible night of music. Set 1, let's finish up set 1. Buell Mule, California Sober. No, that was second set. Sorry. Bronze Back, Love and Regret. A beautiful version of Love and Regret. In fact, I made my Uber driver or Lyft driver listen to the audio recording I got of Love and Regret last night. He was from Turkey, and I asked him if he liked it. He's like, yeah, I liked it. Ernest T. Grass by the Dillards, and they closed out the first set with Secrets. We had incredible seats. We were in section 105, which is at the end of the floor, directly in the middle, right in front of the soundboard. The soundboard, I might even put a picture of the soundboard in the description. The soundboard was like enormous, like 5 different tables of gear, and it was kind of crazy to think. All you have is five musicians up there. Billy Failing on banjo, and Alex Hargreaves on fiddle, Jared Walker on mandolin, and Royal Mascot on bass, and of course Billy Strings. They had quite a lot of mixing stuff, so I don't know if they were recording an album, and we'll get into that because maybe they were last night. Opened up the second set with Leaning on a Traveling Song, and again, where the first set on night 1 was kind of more traditional bluegrass, and it got psychedelic later, they got off just into some jams and some and using some of the technology and heavy reverbs and looping possibly, and some of the Nord keyboard stuff that they do. I don't know if Mascot's using keyboards with his feet. I don't see a keyboard up there necessarily, but I know there's some sort of modulation going on. Anyway, Sally Johnson, traditional cover, 10,000 Miles from a Friend was played. Run Down by Jeff Austin, Dusty Miller, Be Your Man Again, Hypnosis Highway, which is one of my favorites off the Home album. They then Harbor of Love, California Sober, which I had not seen performed live before, which was great. Long Forgotten Dream, All Fall Down with John Hartford again, St. Louisan, local legend. And then the beginning of the end. So you get a full-blown a full-blown 25-song show. I don't even think that they go off before Chris Thile comes out and joins Just Billy for Encore on Feast Here Tonight, which is a Prairie Ramblers cover. Chris Thile is the mandolin player for the Punch Brothers. Well, on the next song, Uncle Pen, the Bill Monroe cover, the entire Punch Brothers band comes out and joins the Billy Strings in his band. So we got 10 guys on stage, one woman on fiddle, and we get a full-blown 10-song encore. Listen to these songs: Feast Here Tonight, Uncle Pen, The Letter Edged in Black by Haiti, Nevada, 91 Years, traditional cover, Doing My Time by Jimmy Skinner, The Lonesome River by the Stanley Brothers and the Clinch Mountain Boys, My Sweet Blue-Eyed Darling by Bill Monroe, Summertime, which is a George Gershwin song, EMD, David Grissom, Rank Stranger by the Stanley Brothers, and I'm Gone, Long Gone. Billy said that he got permission to play till midnight and that there was going to be no curfew for the show. He said he loves it when a city doesn't have a curfew for him. There was nonstop music for an hour encore, and they just had one mic, and people were going up to it from the band, coming in, taking solos, and then the next guy would come, and then strings would come, and then Chris Thile would come. His fiddle player, Chris Eldridge, is the guitar player of the Punch Brothers. Let's see if he's I don't even know. I don't know what happened last night. It was crazy. Just spontaneous jamming, and I would hope that was recorded. And if it's not, I mean, obviously it's been recorded, but released in some professional manner. Last night was great. Again, I should probably waited to do this review, but I thought I'd get it done. Again, there's so many traditional bluegrass songs that I don't know. I like I said in my night one interview, I love Highway Prayers, I love Home, I love Renewal. Love and Regret's probably my favorite song, maybe by anybody. Getting a version of that on audio, I can play it to cab drivers and myself and my friends. But last night was incredible. Probably the best string show I've been to. So I hope everybody else enjoyed it. Again, lots of it was fuzzy last night. I'm not gonna lie. But that's how it goes sometimes. Check out my channel. We talk about great music here every day. Later today, I'm going to review Phantom Island, the new album by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. That's a crazy album, and it's awesome. Phantom Island. We're going to do the Van Morrison album this week, which is unbelievably, surprisingly great. The Neil Young and Chrome Hearts, which I'm listening to. We got all kinds of stuff. We're ranking the discography of Kansas and Journey. Check the channel out. Subscribe if you like this content. We talk about great music here. Sorry about the rambling review and lack of real information because, as they say, if you remember the show completely, maybe you weren't even really there. See ya. Bye.